Hello, everyone. I am Teacher Heather, and today I want to talk to you about how to improve your lighting in your classroom. So a couple things I want to share with you guys is, first, you want to make sure your lighting is even throughout your classroom. You don't want your background to be too dark and you to be too bright, or one side be too dark, one side be too bright, or vice versa. And the biggest thing is also not to be too bright. So I want to share with you my tips on how I got my lighting in my classroom. So one thing I'm going to show you guys first is my lighting. Let me turn this one up down here too. Okay. Now this is my classroom without any lighting. This is just using my screen, which is something I actually did when I first started. I had a light that was behind, because I have this is a cardboard box. And I had behind me was another light, and it just beamed in. So it was a little brighter than this, but it was still bad. Now, I went through a lot of trials with my lighting. So here we just have my front light. So you might think, okay, this is such a huge improvement. What can I do better? Well, as you can see, my background is not really well lit. It's a little darker here. So again, what I have right now is a light right over my computer. I don't have it shining on me. It's one of those clip-on lights, and I have it shining above me, so it actually shines behind me. And then my biggest tip for people for your background, so your background is well lit, is to have a light behind you that shines up to your background. So I'm going to turn that back on. And there you go. So there, now my background is a little bit more well lit. Okay, so let me back up a little bit here. I know that this setup may not be ideal for everyone. Some people have a standing desk, some people have different arrangements. So just a couple tips. Something that I invested in was these can lights. I got them for I think $2 at Walmart, and I put some LED bulbs. Other people recommend a daylight bulb. So what I used to have, which it was way too bright, is I had my overhead light, and I had a light on each side of me shining to my backdrop, and then the one on the ground. Now, if you are finding that you have way too much light, but you can't get rid of one, like let's say you can't get rid of the side lights to tone the brightness down, something that I highly recommend is getting some parchment paper. It's just this, and covering it over your lights. I have that so it filters it down, because believe it or not, it can still be really, really bright if I take the parchment paper off. So I put parchment paper over it, and it filters out the light, and it sends it out evenly. It makes a world of a difference. And another thing is, you want to be sure you don't have shadows. And by keeping things even and neat, it will alleviate the shadows. And same by using the parchment paper. So I recommend always having an overhead light. I don't care where you, if you're standing or you're sitting, don't have it shine on your face, have it shine above you, because if it's shining on your face, it's going to wash you out. Be sure you have a light behind you to show your backdrop. Another thing, I noticed a lot of teachers who have really dark backdrops, it's kind of washes you out. It either washes you out or makes it too dark. So when I used to just have my cardboard, it made it still too dark. So I just taped up a white sheet, and it really helps bring the light out in the classroom. Another thing I highly recommend is daylight or LED bulbs. Don't just get your standard bulbs. It makes a world of a difference. Lastly, your webcam makes a big deal of your lighting. It also makes a big deal of your focus and your image. I did invest into a Logitech external cam. I have a Mac computer, and the camera is actually great, but I didn't realize how not so great it is until I got the Logitech. And what the Logitech does is it pulls light from where it needs to be, so it's more even. So with the Logitech, it focuses more on what lightness it needs to make things even for your face and for your backdrop. So I highly recommend investing into a Logitech camera. Again, just a quick recap: light above you, light below you, and if you need lights on the sides, do it. If you need to dim it or make it more even, get some parchment paper and tape it around your light to fuse the light around you, and invest in a good quality camera. I mean, hello, we're teaching for a while. You'll get this thing paid off in just a few classes taught. So make your lighting great and play around with it. It will do trial and error. Take some screenshots so you can see the differences. So I hope this helps you guys, and thank you so much. Bye, everyone.